Hi, all, Bones here from AusBSA Bantams. Been a very busy couple of months, so it's been 2 months since I posted my last video, and the reason for that is March and April, they're riding months. I mean, when it's mid-20s, no wind, you don't stand around a workshop, get out and you ride. So we've done a fair few trips, British two-stroke rally, heap of other trips, so back into the workshop now as the weather's starting to cool down a bit. Progress on the Jawa. We have got back all our components from vapor blasting. These are all done by Dave Perrin at Vapor Blast Restoration Solutions here in Sale. As usual, he's a fantastic standard that he does everything to. So this makes things a whole heap easier to work with. I mean it's so spotlessly clean. It's all ready for assembly. So this will be packed away, or it has been packed away. And we'll start getting into some more stuff. I have rims that have arrived, so I can build up the wheels, but I haven't got the wheel bearings, so I'll pick them up this week. And I'll start cleaning up all the engine components, so I can go through, verify that I've got all the parts, both existing and the new parts, replacement parts that I've bought, and then I can go for an engine rebuild. So we'll see how we go. So I am going to strip the rust off most of these components with a product from KBS, which is a rust blast, I think they call it. So it's just a powder you mix up in water and it just dissolves the rust. They say it's non-toxic and it's not acidic and that sort of thing, so it won't eat the parent metal. So I've just mixed a batch up, and I've just knocked the rust off this with a wire buff, and we'll see how it works. Hopefully it'll work all right. Well, it's fizzing up and looking like it's doing something. We'll give it some time, come back later. Okay, I've just dropped the clutch cover in the bath of rust blaster to strip it from the rust. And the reason I wanted to try this stuff is for components like this. Now, if I was to go and bead blast this, I'd get blast grit through everything. And this thing is all welded and riveted together, so you can't disassemble it, or not very well. So I thought, for the sake of how much that cost, which wasn't that much, it wasn't over the top, plus it's reusable, we'll give it a bit of a go. So I'll give this a clean up with a wire brush and then drop it in the bath, and we'll see how this stuff works. As you can see, I've got a few more bits and bobs to do, but they're not a lot, but this stuff's reusable. Just put the lid back on it and use it for the next bite. Okay, so this is the end result from our bath to our remove the rust, and I think it's done a cracker job. I don't know whether you can sort of see, it's got a dark grey sort of finish to it, and it's like it's nearly phosphate coated it, but it's certainly not flash rusting. After I appreciate the light's not probably the best, but I'm really happy with that. Yeah, certainly be using that stuff again. As I said, it's reusable, so there's a couple of bits still left in there at the moment. So all in all, a success. It's actually all freed up everything, and everything moves really well, and good result. So I've got a couple of problems. One is on this main shaft, the actual sliding gear surface here isn't that flash. I'll put a micrometer over it, but I think there's a fair bit of wear on the end that I'll have to polish up. The next thing is the main shaft sliding gear bush. It's a really thin wall thickness, so I reckon I'll machine one up myself and ream it out to suit whatever diameter this ends up after it's been polished down. But you can see the rock in it. It's not much chop. And if you're doing Bantams, check that, because effectively, if you've got slop in it, the gear sort of sits. That's exaggerated, but the gear sort of sits like that. So you haven't got your main shaft gears not meshing properly with the low shaft gear. They're sort of, because what happens is they sort of move like that because the bush is warm. Something to remember. Okay, so that's our main shaft, and you can see those grooves down here. So I'm about to set it up in lathe, and I'll polish those out and polish the whole shaft parallel. Okay, so we have 12.39, 12.46, 12.4. So she's all over the shop. So we've got about 0.06 of a millimetre error in this. So I'll start polishing this up and see if I can get it parallel again. Okay, there we have the finished product. I'm trying to hold this thing as steady as I can. But anyway, it's all the same diameter now, all the way across, and we've got our machine marks out. So I think that's enough for me for today. We'll get some bushes made up to suit that, and all will be well again. So pretty good. Okay, we'll see you later.